we're going to be talking about the spirit of possession. I am going to be doing a series on possession because this is this is really a huge barrier to attaining enlightenment and having a family practice that is functional, harmonious, and together building towards something long lasting that is also sustainable for generations to come. Not anyway. Yeah, let's just get into it because I think that's very significant. So we and hubby was talking about this because I was telling him about the series I'm going to be going on with talking about possession and
Let's just get right to it. Possession is the breakdown of the black family.
mhm,
Possession is anti-family, and it comes from lack of understanding each other. But you have to have discernment. Example: black man wants more women around. He has a woman. He wants to be around more women. He's being open about him being around, wanting to be around more women with his mate. But they originally started off as monogamous, right?
mhm, mhm,
Then he tells her, I want another one. I want another woman, and I want another woman. So I want two other women.
mhm.
She is open minded about it, but somewhat closed minded about it, as she should, because that man could just be filling voids within himself and just want
Right, right,
lustful desires with women
right. Yeah,
with
yeah,
no real agenda of community or building anything. He just wants to fulfill his lustful desires.
right.
That's lack of leadership. It is in a man's nature to want to do that,
Mhm.
but it has to be in a responsible way. So it has to be some meaning to it
Yeah,
for it to build up the black family, which is the most revolutionary thing that we could do.
right. And not just having sex.
Not just having sex and having babies. So the woman
Right.
is like, okay, let's say she is open minded to it, but then she's dealing with the whole nother spiritual problem of this man just being gluttonous and then his
Mhm.
lustful desires on top of him not wanting her to have any other sexual partners. Possession.
Yeah.
Once again, that's the breakdown of the black family. Once again, so even when we're trying to understand each other, it could be a misunderstanding
Right.
based off of, just like you said, like juvenile development.
Juvenile development, and also it's been something I've been observing that if a man is finding in himself that he can't attract poly women, or the women that's around him seem to not really gain like a polygamous family consciousness, especially if she is a black woman, it's because there's something too on the man spiritually that he's not developed. Because a true leader can manifest that. If you're a true leader, you should be able to mend an indigenous African family together. You should be able to do that if you are a true leader.
Yeah, true. So, it's been some discussion around that too, around leadership,
Yeah.
because some women are seeming to feel that in certain situations, depending on who's equipped with what, that the woman should be the leader.
Oh no, that's no. Yeah.
Now, and they'll argue you down, or they'll try to, and I understand where they're coming from. And ultimately, if the woman is in the lead, the man is still the head. But back to what you were saying towards that, being a true leader, us understanding as men where that's coming from and being honest about that. So we not being honest about that, it just basically becomes a Real Housewife of Atlanta situation.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
The infidelity, babies,
Yep. Yeah.
diseases,
But that's why I'm
lack
always
of
saying
family.
lack of family. And I also wanted to just mention just real quick that to add to my point, I also noticed that if a man is not spiritually developed and being a spiritual leader to his women, then he will desire a level of possession from his women, not consciously but subconsciously, and interpreting it as that's them really loving them or protecting them. And no, you're just being possessed, but it's because you also have this like European family, like cultural ideologies around family that you haven't break through. You haven't tapped into your real indigenous DNA. Like that would make sense if we were talking about like people of European descent,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm not, and I'm not saying that either because obviously there's people of European descent that does practice
Mm-hmm.
different forms of family practices outside of monogamy. I'm not saying that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that it definitely doesn't make sense for someone who is of African descent. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you're just following the white family model that was given to you that comes from Christian biblical values that you may not practice that, but you are in the sense of how you think and how you've been indoctrinated to view family, and you just haven't spiritually evolved and to a higher level where you can mend that and manifest that into your life. And then it's just like, and if and then if you're not putting energy in towards building that, then shame on you. You're not as pro black or pro community as you think you are.
Right. Do you feel that the African in the African, because I'm sitting here listening to what you're saying.
Right.
Do you think the African in the African American is diminishing because you'll hear women say, "Well, yeah, we're not settling for that because my grandmother did that and she was miserable."
Right. But what is she talking about? She's
Mm-hmm.
talking about a situation in which, in those cases where I hear women say that and they follow feministic ideologies, it's because they're saying their mother stayed with a man who is still at this development level. He's not a spiritually ascended high man. They're not practicing a spiritual system that is fulfilling and benefits the children. They're operating, being of indigenous or African descent, in a system that was imposed on them as a way of life.
Mm-hmm.
So he has children in another family over here,
Mm-hmm.
an illusion of a monogamous family here, and
Mm-hmm.
an illusion of a monogamous family here,
Mm-hmm.
and her mother was miserable. Of course, she would be miserable because that's not a family,
Because of
that's
the
not a
separatism.
community. Well, it's a breakdown in family and community. Yes,
Because of the separatism.
and also under development.
I mean, yeah, I'm just saying, like, the biggest thing is the separatism because he has a house here, he has a house there, he has a false sense of monogamy relationship here, and then he has another life here, then he has another life there. And that's why they saying that grandma was,
Like, wasn't fulfilled.
yeah, because if she would be fulfilled if it was all together.
Well, think of it like this. Rather, it's different ways that women may want to break it down. Whether they want to say, oh, my grandmother stayed in that because she had low self-esteem. She couldn't afford, economically to do things more independently. She couldn't, and so that's what feminism is. So feminism gave, that was the push for women to have, an option. Okay, but where we come back again, we're bringing a solution in which we're talking about with the Maya community and an indigenous life system that is an actual system, right? And also giving the tools and the blueprint of how you mend and integrate those relationships together. But the reality is that you can't have one foot in, one foot out. That's gonna give you're always gonna run into conflict. You know what I'm saying? It's just like war.
And right.
Yeah.
So
You gotta choose a side.
if he was able to bring those families together with grandma,
Mm-hmm.
they would have probably been more fulfilled
Well, that's a good question.
because it'd been more sense of
Well,
community.
well, one poly family is not a community.
Nah, I didn't say that.
Yeah.
You said he had a fam. You named three different families.
Right. So if he has, yeah,
So if he was a so better leadership and could have somehow brought that together,
yeah. I
they
don't.
could have been more fulfilling for the women.
I don't think so.
No.
No, because if they're still, if okay, let's change the context. Are these women reclaimed back to their Africanness and their indigenous bloodline, and you know they're in harmony and connection with their ancestors? They wear their clothing, their children are getting in touch with their native language. That would bring fulfillment because there has to be culture with it.
Well,
You know that
I see what you're
that's
saying, but
fulfillment.
this is a start though.
Right. So yeah, so you're asking me, yeah, so you're asking me,
Like,
oh,
because you're saying a lot right now.
I'm sorry. So you're saying I'm sorry because well because
No,
the
you're
only
really
reason
saying a whole lot right now.
the only reason
Let's slow down a little
the
bit. What?
only
Listen to what I'm saying.
okay.
If grandpa was able to bring them together somehow, where all the women knew each other and the kids could play together, and it was all in some cases back then, it was some cases like this, right?
Right. That's what I was trying to get to. Yeah, I was trying to get
See
to.
what I'm saying? So
That's
that
what I
would
was
be
trying to
like
get
a
to.
start
Yeah, that's what I was trying to
because the
get to.
women might not be as disgruntled
Right. If it's
because
like yeah.
they wouldn't be able to say that grandma was so miserable or unhappy.
Yeah, especially if they were working as a family unit. If it was
That's all I'm
unity.
saying.
Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. I know I get a little ahead of myself. But yeah, if it was unity, then yeah, they would be more fulfilled, of course.
That's all I was saying.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
all I was saying. So basically,
Yeah.
basically, before we get more into in depth where you was about to go, I'm just saying, like on the man's part of things, if he was able to bring the families together instead of living separate,
Yeah.
that's what I was gonna get into. Is
Yeah.
that's where the phrase "Papa was a Rolling Stone" came from.
Yes.
That's what I was trying to get into. I wasn't trying to go
Yes.
all the way
Oh,
over there. So
okay. I'm
like,
following you.
okay, so
Okay.
Papa was a Rolling Stone. That's where that came from.
Yeah.
But if he was able to, that would have never came about if he was
Right.
able to bring the families together,
Yeah.
or
It
if he
was
would have felt
unity.
comfortable to do that, and there
Yeah.
was unity there.
That's yeah, unity. I think that's the biggest thing. But it's like we have this like, especially with the black community, it's like this childlike romanticized view of unity. No, just start with, if you have multiple children by multiple people, why aren't you all moving like a unit?
That's
Right.
the point I was trying to get to.
Exactly. Okay.
So
Got
that's
you.
the spirit of possession
Yes.
because
Yes.
we're not taking the time to understand each other.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
okay, and we're gonna keep using these examples.
Yeah.
For me, for example,
Mm-hmm.
so I have a history of signing monogamous contracts in my past, and they're not they wasn't working out because I was so in close contact with black women, and sometimes even infidelity.
Yeah.
Right then, I learned through those relationships, grew, met my wife, and got married. The women that I have children with don't know that version of me that got married to my wife. But within that time, those women can choose to stay stuck in the past. Our man can choose to stay stuck in the past. Or they can meet that man's wife, who is the man that is the father of their children,
Oh.
and they can come together and move as a unit based off where everybody is at now. But the spirit of possession
Yeah.
causes anti family to
Mm-hmm.
be normalized
Mm-hmm.
because we're not taking the time to understand each other.
Yeah.
And with feminism comes a whole space and void for women not to take accountability. Just pray about it. Give it to Jesus. Go to the church or whatever. The spirit, you have been possessed by your possessors. The captors have taken over your brain to be able to be possessed by the spirit of a Eurocentric way of thinking, which breaks down the black family, which all plays into possession. It plays into everything that you. I didn't want you to go that deep that quick,
Yeah, I went too quick. Yeah,
but
I
we're
was
gonna go
no,
there.
I was
No,
really
yeah, we're
quick.
gonna go there.
Yeah,
I
I
just
just
wanted to
ran with
break
it.
this down first,
Yeah, no, perfect. Yeah,
and then
perfect.
so
Yeah.
this is, and I'm speaking in my case, so this could be a real live example. Okay, so I'm literally being trying to be a real live example to my children by showing stability. I have a wife, and you would think that would be more pro family. No, because it's more broken home because we are not in our African indigenous mind frame. We're actually in the total opposite,
Mm-hmm.
which brings on the spirit of possession. He left me, he did me wrong, he did it instead of like, no, instead of transcending time, he was a different person. He was growing into a man. He's a man now. He's making better decisions to be an example for the children,
Right.
right? But the spirit of possession also amplifies feminism
Oh, absolutely.
and
Yeah.
and misogyny.
Yeah. Yes, it does because feminism teach women to put themselves first.
Mm,
You know, it's the focus of self. Feminism is the focus of self.
mm-hmm, mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's wow. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which would be the focus on self would be the illusion of what's best for the family because of the
Yes.
emotional hurt that came from the relationship that you actually grew from. But the feminism and the possession of spirit won't not allow you to see that because
Yeah.
you're not willing to go through that emotional hurt and do the inner development to be able to not live in the past of that relationship
Yeah.
and embrace the new ones.
Right.
That's why
Yeah.
I
Like
got
yeah.
married
Yeah.
so I could grow spiritually
Yes.
to be a better family man,
Yeah. So like
you
this,
know?
the spirit of possession, and we can use. Do you mind if I use a real life example?
Hmm.
Like well, let's say that one of your children's mother, um, you all co-parent a certain way, when it was just you and you didn't get remarried just yet
Hmm.
or got into a marriage yet. You had a child by this person, and once you got married, the person wants to find any way that they can continue to control you as if you are still in a relationship with the woman. that's
Hmm.
that's possession, rather than it just be like, all right, look, these are the times we're arranging to drop PJ off with his father. No, the spirit of possession will not allow that.
Won't allow
It's
that.
like, no, there needs to be some emotional exchange, even if it's hurt, because that's my capacity to love. I have to possess you. It's like I have to possess my child. I have to use my child over you to feel in control of this situation. I can't control your heart. I can't
Hmm.
control that you got remarried and or you got married and you're in love and this is you're a new version of yourself. You found a new
Hmm.
self of love. I can't control that. So I'm gonna just control the next thing I can, which is our child,
Hmm.
and I'm going to use that to try to control you.
Right.
That's
And
the spirit. We didn't have to go all the way to Africa for me to have this experience. Okay, we were right here in the USA, in Georgia, and and that was in my first marriage, and he paid for me to get the heart work session, and Master Don, he did tell me, he was just like, the spirits was like, you want to be in control, but they were like, if you let go of control, then you'll actually be in control. So they really speak into my ego, right? This construct of who I think I am and how things are supposed to be. That's not really who I am. This is not how it's supposed to be. You just have to let it go. Anything that's going to be unfamiliar to me is probably closer to my Africanness. Let's
yeah,
just
and
be
it's
real.
probably yeah, and it's probably closer to the prize.
Uh-huh.
I think one of the issues is we don't see each other as the prize anymore.
That part. Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
it's like a woman is like, why would I want a man? And a man is like, why would I want a woman?
Mm,
And it's it's really like the disconnectivity in the air, and like we feel it.
mhm.
It's harder to make genuine connections with people, especially what happened with COVID. And like you said, is even more importantly, it's harder for us to make a genuine connection with the African in us or the indigenous within us because you feel so alien when you do, and you're
Right,
looking for those people that are looking to dig deeper within themselves and find it, but they're actually finding a safe place of being in a possessed place of their possessors in hiding in Eurocentric doctrine and religion.
right. Yeah,
So that's a safer place for them,
right,
which causes more of a disconnection with the people who are feeling like this is not right.
right.
It is actually, we're actually being possessed by a spirit of possession
Mhm.
by believing in that.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which causes another split within the black family. Think about how many Think
Mm.
about how much division religion causes within black family. You got a Baptist family, and then now you telling your Baptist family you don't want to go to church, you don't care for going to church, you don't believe in the Bible like that anymore,
Mhm.
or the Torah or the Quran or whatever, and you're more going towards African spirituality.
Right.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Imagine the divide in that. Now you're getting judgment placed on you by the same people who possessed your ancestors.
Right.
The spirit of possession comes in so many different forms and so many different relationships.
Yeah. And I think I actually don't even know if that's a modern problem. I think
Mm,
I think that um I think tradition could be something that prevents the evolution even of a tribe or village, and then you lose it after so many generations because you're so stuck on tradition rather than spiritual involvement.
mm,
But that's, I don't
that's a
know.
great
What do
point.
you think?
I yeah, I absolutely agree. The family tradition exceeds family evolution.
Mm, yeah.
We got to keep the tradition going. Now, if it's a tradition that is based around growth,
Right.
that would be beneficial for the family. But if it's a tradition
Yeah.
based around stagnation
Right.
and
Right.
it just is what it is and blind faith,
Right.
I see exactly what you're saying. Like,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of that is going. I mean, that's the traditional curse of what we're seeing in religious these religious institutions.
Mhm.
You're seeing a bunch of women and no men there. Hundreds of thousands of
Yeah.
way more women than men,
Yeah.
and we're not aware of what's going on with each other. Some of us don't even care what's going on with each other.
Mhm.
And the rejection of knowledge, the rejection of knowing something different, the rejection of a man who knows something different or a woman who knows something different that can enlighten you, the rejection of that, the thinking and the ego of thinking you have all of the answers when all of the answers rely in the black family, the revolution of the black family coming back together. But all these things that are dividing it, one being and this is not a shot at my single mothers. I was raised by a single mother, but I never heard my mom bragging about that. That was nothing to be proud of or wear a badge about. I'm
Yeah.
just keeping it real. It wasn't. My mom barely had said I was raised. You're looking at a man who was raised by a single mom.
Mhm.
It was never a single mom movement or anything like that to be proud of. And I say that to say because my mom was constantly looking for family and community. That is anti-family and community. It is. So if there's a gap in between the relationship on how the women view family without a man, nations don't get built.
Mhm.
Nations don't get built.
Right.
You have to see the value in your men.
Right. Yeah.
And right now, we're getting so devalued to the point where it's like the men we feel attacked. Black men, men in general, but black men especially, we feel attacked. And I know understand women do too, which is why they're mobbing up together, and there are a lot of them are very much anti-men based on maybe past experiences, based on the men that they attract, based off them not being able to accept or identify with the men who are good leaders and genuine and on a real spiritual journey to be able to cherish and find the black woman within them. You won't even be able to identify with that,
Mhm.
which would be mean why you're not desired by a man, which could give reference to why when you get one you're so possessive.
Right. Yeah.
Because
You see something of value that you want to hold and harder to yourself, because of insecurities or whatever the case is.
I'm gonna tell you a story. I want you to hear this, right?
Mhm.
A friend of mine called me from his job. he was in his office, and this sister comes in, and he's pretty much always like watching documentaries and lectures and stuff like that. And he recorded a little bit of their conversation because he told me that the sister likes to line dance, she likes to do all these fun things, and when she comes into his office to talk to him, she always tells him to turn the lectures off. She don't want to hear that, and she wants to watch Pop the Balloon.
Mm.
And he was like, "Why do you always want to watch that?" She said, "Well, it entertains me, and when I'm at work, I don't want to be thinking about deep things or learning anything. I just want to laugh and be entertained." And when a brother let me hear the recording of that conversation, I couldn't help but to think like, well, would you want him to be laughing and joking around and during serious times? Like if something really was like, so you would much rather, so you're much rather identifying with a man who is a clown and doesn't want and is not trying to elevate his mind and spiritual self. You would much rather be around a man like that. That's probably why you don't have a man.
Well, and then let's just be real. That's just, I mean, people who think like it's just real weak. I don't know, because we think about things for spiritual warfare. I can't have weak soldiers. I mean, it's just like, come on, like, what we gonna do with you? I mean, I mean, you're easy prey. You're just easy prey. You're just like, if any little challenge come, you can't get. Okay, then that means you're just susceptible for anything to just come infiltrate your spirit. All right,
You know what it seems to
I
me?
can't,
It
I
seems
can't deal with it.
you seem it seem don't do it don't not seem to you that we have like all the excuses for not being pro family, pro black, or pro anything that doesn't have anything to do with what white people gave us.
Right. Yeah. The cap. So like in the enjoy in your captivity.
The enjoyment in your captivity.
Yeah. I
Wow.
mean, you have to think about being on the plantation. You did have some slaves that they wanted they they want to do harm to somebody that trying to free them. Like no, like they want to stay. They want. They literally don't know what to do without massa. They don't know. It's too scary. The other side of that is way too scary. You talking about like I gotta learn to fend for myself, think for myself. I'm not gonna have these clothes laid out. Master tell me my give me my jewelry. Master gave me this and that. What I'm gonna do without Master?
Do you
I don't know
do
what I'm gonna
do
do.
you feel like women have a right to not to have trust issues with black men and to treat them as and to generalize all of them as like they're not trustworthy enough to for
No.
me to
Mm-mm. No, because then you're that woman like that would just stay in perpetual conflict with men, and then that's gonna be to her own demise. And
mm,
God forbid if she have children, that's dangerous.
mm,
That's dangerous because where's your protector? Oh,
right.
you don't have one because you don't respect nature. You have to respect
Mm,
nature. You're not a man. It's impossible for a woman to be a mother and a father. Women who say that ignorant.
mm,
That's it's just emotional. Oh, I was
yeah,
the mother and father. No, you were not. You are not both of those things.
yeah.
You are a woman. Gotcha.
Why do you think it is it's been so normalized for women to invalidate the position of a man and disposition a man to the point where they are saying that they are strong enough to be what a man is and the
Mm.
influence that a man has in the
Mm-hmm.
family
Right.
dynamic.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good question. It's because they haven't faced the consequence of it yet,
Mm,
or so they think. I
mm,
mean, you have to think that this machine world, like that, especially if we're talking about in the US, it's like they're rewarded for trying to be like a man. But what happens when you no longer have a system that's taking care of you anymore and you're
mm,
really dependent back on nature? You're gonna fold because you are not in harmony with it.
mm,
You done lived a certain amount of time of your life going against nature, and then when it's really dependent on you to rely on nature, your software doesn't agree with that, so you're going to run out. If we're in a video
mm,
game, you're just gonna time out. You're gonna lose it. You lost your life because you're not like what it because it's like you don't respect nature. So it's like respecting nature is like honoring and validating a man, a masculine energy. You are not that. You will never be as great of a masculine, more masculine than a biological man. You'll never be that. You'll never out masculinize a man. And I don't get women will probably try to do that, but no, you will never do that. A man would just not even take a woman serious. Like, I mean, in the back of their mind, I mean, you can parade around and try to act like a man and operate like one and be a strong and, but like it's just laughable because you're not a man, right? Got it.
Yeah, that's a great point, and I feel as though from going through it through real life experience is the more you come into your manhood and masculinity, it seems in some cases could cause more of a divide within the family. So as a man, you have to make a decision. What does family look like for you?
Yeah.
Because that's where the revolution starts, and that's why poly is so important because it gives you another chance to build family.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you another start to develop relationships that are outside of the norm, that really are a norm in a sense of getting and unlocking the indigenous and cultural parts of you.
Mm-hmm.
When a lot of the times when we were creating family, we were so far from our cultural self that to be real, that DNA might not even be the same anymore in the sense of like how you what you grew into and how much spiritual evolution took place during that time, because you could be in a place of spirituality and doing things to where the family that you created in the past or could be totally afraid of you. They could be fearful of you because you don't go with the traditionalized American religious ways.
Right.
So what does a man do then? A man either is going to fold and go backwards, or a man is going to say, you know what? No, I'm going to ride this till the I'm gonna ride it till the wheels off because I understand that the Creator wouldn't have took me this far if it wasn't something unfathomably great for
Right.
me. I
Right.
know
Yeah.
that there's something there that I'm supposed to be fulfilling that has to do with what I'm turning into and what I'm transforming into, and that's not an easy path. It takes a lot of bravery. We was just talking about, me and my was just talking about earlier today, me and my wife, the lonesome path
Mm-hmm.
of not connecting with a lot of people and people believing and trying to cut corners on spirituality. When, let's be totally honest, spirituality started, I mean, the revolution started with spirituality. The Haitian Revolution was one with spirituality.
Yeah.
Us letting go of the white man's religion and becoming the greatest, largest independent country known to man on this planet Earth. Why was it spiritual and not organized? Was because Africans from all the part of the African diaspora came together and did not know each other's language and met in Alligator Swamp. Even before that, we talking about Macandale,
Mm-hmm.
who taught the slaves how to make, I'm sorry, taught the POWs how to make poisonous herbs to get rid of their masters and run to the maroon camps in the mountains. The spiritual plant nature connectedness, interconnectedness with nature to understand the elementals spiritually, to identify with the plants and plants intelligence, to connect with the creator, to do what it is to free yourself.
Right.
That's the spiritual, that's the connect with nature, to meet an alligator swamp and not be attacked by alligators. That is beyond organization.
Yeah.
This is metaphysics, right? Okay, and then to be able to understand each other, which goes back to the spirit of possession, we have to speak each other's language to be able to understand each other. Some of us don't care for understanding women. Some of us don't care for understanding men. But for those that do, and for the ones that are still staying open while being denied, devalued, and invalidated, stay true to who you are. It's cool. Stay open because that's what a real revolutionary does.
And people have to realize too that relationships are our mirrors. So if you are a man and you feel like you attract like women who at a certain level of capacity to love, that's also where you are. It doesn't work. It doesn't work like,
Say that
oh,
again.
so it's like, okay, relationships are mirrors. So if you are a man and you feel like you're stepping into more, like you are open and you're thinking about poly, but you feel like you've attracted women who are at a certain level of love, like capacity of love, like they're possessive, they can't, they don't understand love in this type of dynamic, in this way of multiple loves, and you being able to do that. If they can't, that's where you are too. That's a reflection of you if you're in a relationship with her, because we are, relationships are mirrors.
I totally agree with that. And let's just be honest. Are you even aware of what's happening to your men?
Yeah, that's true.
For you to say at this point, men are black men are kind of going extinct. There's like 8-1 in New York, Charlotte, Atlanta. It's like 8-1 or something like that. It's getting crazy. So the fact right now to not have sisterhood around the man and to say, "Oh, that's my man," that this is kind of being unaware of what's happening to black men. And I
Mm-hmm.
know some of y'all don't care. I know some of y'all don't care about what's happening to black men, but for the ones that do, and the ones that care about what's happening to black women, and the
Mm-hmm.
consciousness and the awareness of what's happening, pay attention to your men, black women, if they're going through spiritual awakening to where they're being more particular about what they eat, if they're being more particular about where they go, what they watch, how they're talking, their purpose, how much they're, being questioning what they were taught all their life, questioning things, questioning their reality. Let them do this. Let them be the leader. Trust in that. Because a lot of the things that we were taught when we were coming up as kids, these were indoctrinations.
And this is what I mean by not having a strong male influence, is like in that example where you're talking about the sister who was watching uh the balloon thing. See, having a strong male influence in your life would discourage you to do something like that.
Mm.
And I almost want to dang near say would just not allow it. Like, hey, like like I've just, as someone who has had men in my life, right, being married, right, my father, it's like, don't do that. You're gonna mess. That's gonna mess your mind up.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you doing that? It's to protect you, but you don't even know. That's just, I can't fathom a world like that. Like you don't even understand or respect the masculine nature and what it's really doing for you. But lessons are for real. I mean, especially if you have children,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the protector, like that's something women do not have a natural instinct to sense danger and harm in the way that men do. But
Mm-hmm.
this world will make women think that they do. Oh, I got my gun, I'm strapped. Okay. What about spiritually?
When in history did women want to be men so bad, and vice versa?
That's a good question. Right. Right. It was this interesting post I seen with this woman. She was a white woman. She was a feminist, and she was like talking about how she wanted to be a man so bad. So she like experienced what it was like being a man, and then she published a book, and she was saying how hard it was for men, and how she just retracted everything. I would never want to be a man. Yeah,
Wow.
I just saw that post somewhere. I have to find it, dig it up. And she took it back. She was like, no, men have, like, it's like, I wanted to be a man so hard. It's like to experience what it's like to be a man. Oh my gosh, their life is so much harder than a woman. Yeah. It's a very sick, like, twisting things, but
Yeah. It was like a book or something.
yeah, I gotta go back and look at, yeah.
I mean, women have it pretty tough too.
Yes, that's true. But it's
I
not
mean, the
to,
way the way I mean, let's talk about it. I mean, the way y'all are antagonizing the Bible.
yeah.
You ate the apple.
Mhm.
You bleed every month. You can't do this. What else in the Bible? Oh, yeah, y'all are basically the reason for original sin.
Right.
Yeah. What else? Yeah, you killed. You got Samson killed.
And in
I
this
mean, the way
world,
women are portrayed in the Bible, that's kind of. I mean, in the way America's ran off that book, the way The
Yeah,
patriarchy looks at women. That's kind of tough.
it is. And
That's
then
kind of tough.
I think ultimate, but I think the thing is just don't think just because you recognize that it's obsolete for being a woman and a man in this day and time.
Yeah.
And I mean being that in nature, like in standing on that, especially if you are heterosexual,
Mm.
and you want to be on, but that doesn't mean that you could be operating like for us, for instance, we're both heterosexual and we do polyamory, right? We follow nature, but we also, we also have the capacity for community building and building relationships out as we see fit for the community that we're building. So, I think it's just about, not allowing, spiritual sickness to creep into your spirit as you think about how hard it is in this day and time. It's hard for both sides, but empathy, and trying to understand each other, I think, of course, like we said, is where you can achieve that balance.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, when we get back, it was something I wanted to mention when we were talking about just the spirit of possession, and when I was talking about how relationships are mirrors. And you know,
Mm-hmm.
I realized both, like, people. So when we get back to possession, okay, so possession is also, it's like a deep fear. Like the psychology behind it is um limitations of love too, because you just can't seem to let go of this fear factor that, you know um if you allow, your partner, to be free, you know or if you're it's like some people interpret this as possession is how this person loves me.
Right.
It's like if they possess me, that's them
Yeah.
showing me my love, but that's not true. That's
Yeah.
actually, it's inevitable to result in pain,
Mm.
because you can't own a human being's heart. You can't own a human being's heart, that's impossible. And it just causes people a lot of pain. The spirit of possession is just like, and then it's emotional because it's emotionally driven. So it's like, oh, your partner's on the phone with someone, and you notice that they're like laughing a little too hard, or a connection's being made, and now your thoughts are going so many different ways because you love them and you feel like, oh, they're going to get emotionally connected, and then that's going to be less for me, and things like that. But that's fear. And again, you're interpreting someone's love as possession, and when you think like that, you're preventing your own evolution, right? You stay stuck in this relationship pattern that you can't get out of. And you wonder why you keep having failed relationships where the person is possessing you. Well, because you, somewhere in your spirit, interprets possession as love. You think, oh, the woman got to be all over you and all this stuff. And if she's not doing all that, if she's not ever asking you where you at, where you been, you're like, is she really into me? You're interpreting love as possession. Or for a man, or like for a woman, oh, he doesn't even seem to care that I'm on, I'm working with some of some men with my work. He doesn't even care that I have, this friend. I'm leaving out the house and I got this dress on, and he's not even saying anything. Is he really even feeling me?
Mm-hmm.
You're interpreting possession as love. They put it all in the movies. They have it in your holy text. It is possession. Possession is love. It prevents you from evolution. So that's kind of like my spiel about it. What you think?
Yeah. It's especially, it's, especially if you've never been, like, if you're not used to like a healthy relationship, man,
Mm-hmm.
that's where the toxic cycles come in at. And it's like,
Mm-hmm. And you
dang, she
interpret that
don't
as
even
love.
care what, yeah, she don't even care where I'm at or nothing. And it really, the
Mm-hmm.
woman is like, yeah, I don't care because I don't own you. I want you to have fun. I want you to be who you are. I don't care in the way that you're used to. I care in a way. I care for you enough to not care about treating you like I own you.
Mhm. Yeah.
You know, so it's like I trust that you're responsible enough
Yeah.
until you prove me otherwise. That to yeah, I mean, I understand a man's nature, I understand a woman's nature,
Yeah.
but that's why I keep going back to like us understanding each other.
And that's where, and it could come out even ways like that, like because me as being just a poly woman, and I've been like this, like I said, since I was young, and I didn't realize, right? I'm not normal, so it's like, okay, I've been in this in my DNA, whereas, but a man can interpret like, oh, like even me talking to this other woman, she doesn't respond the way most women will. Not even if they not even trying to be possessive. Like, well, who are you talking to her? Why you like if I don't just even react like that, you're like, well, is she really into me? I want you to act crazy sometimes.
Yeah.
No, you just want me to be at a lower nature that you're at. Now what I gotta do, that's, you see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's what it's like, and then it be smack you in the face because you be like, well, then the women act crazy and stuff, and now you tell them, so, well, I never really had poly, work out because the women ain't with it, but you ain't either.
Mm.
Both ways. And we're talking about, like I said, some people, like, because it can go on the other side too, where I've seen a brother told me about a woman who, when he was practicing some form of poly they had, it was very dysfunctional. But he was telling me about how the woman that he was relating to, she wanted to be able to have multiple partners, but not him and or her partners. So she wanted to be the one to be poly and have all the men, and none of them talk to people.
Yeah.
He told me she was trying to. It's like, well, why? It's not. It's like it's this type of situation. You're in a relationship with her, but the reason why you even attract a woman like that is because you're possessive too. You're not seeing the pattern. But he's saying that to me like, can you believe? Ain't that crazy? You're in a full blown relationship with a woman who has a frequency like that. You see what I'm saying? Ain't
Mhm.
that crazy?
Yeah.
Ain't that insane? Hey, that's my
That
brother
is
Iron.
wild. Yeah.
But it's so deeply spiritual. You say that to somebody, they be like, don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You don't even know what you're talking about. You be like, well, you in a relationship with that person. Why you so like? But it's almost like a, yeah, she ain't want me. And almost like you almost like it. Yeah, see, she think I'm kind of special. That's why she don't want me talking to other women because she think I'm special. And
Yeah.
it's just sick, yo.
Yeah.
It's just sick. And then you be like, why are you in a toxic poly situation?
Nowadays, that should show you like it's kind of selfish if she knows you're not a man out for his own loins
Mhm.
because there's not a lot of good men to go around.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So
Right.
it's kind of like, damn, you really don't care about your sister for real. Like, damn, you still single? You over here with 3, 4 men,
But
and you
it's
looking at
not.
your sister like, damn, you still ain't got nothing going on, huh?
And
And
it ain't nothing serious.
let's go to church, girl. You ready? Yes,
It's
yeah.
it's probably
Praise Jesus.
in the situation that I'm talking about. Is it is. I know that was on the new movie. What's the new movie with Kelly Rowland? That's what that
Oh
was.
yeah, with Meth Man. Meth Man.
Yeah. He that was a sacrifice. He's like a strong masculine man. Like I don't want to say like
They know what they be doing.
yeah, like I want to say like he represents a certain level of masculinity to me. So it was very interesting that they casted him in that relationship goals movie. Or
Hmm.
like I said, but yeah, that was very political, right? They got involvement with the church in there. They got the black people prison
I don't
and
even know how
trans.
y'all even take that seriously. It's a whole joke.
Oh, like Drewski.
It's crazy. How do y'all even take this seriously, man? Crazy, man. Like
I gotta go back and
at
watch
this point, the jig is up.
you gotta go watch Drewski video. Hilarious. Okay, love his video. with
Facts.
what he say? What he saying there? He said, "Y'all may be wondering why I got red bottoms." He said, "Because I am in the blood of
In the
Jesus."
blood.
Yeah.
Oh my
He
gosh,
said,
man.
"He's I'm gonna pregnate you with the word." And people, y'all, this was hilarious. Like him counting the money, him having a Christian Dior on. It's just acting a fool, and it was like, man, this was like pure art. I loved it though. I loved the skit. I thought it brought up a very good conversation. It's very necessary that this is a hustle, and it's very political. We go back to being political. Yeah, hey, my brother Ian. Yep, I see. I already hear land thick on the facts. Jig is all the way up. That man, that video. I swear that video went so viral. And it's just like, and we wonder why, because it's the truth. And then it's funny because the pastor that was I'm kind of going off track, but the pastor that was where he modeled the Christian Dior that that they had another clip with him because he seen it. He was like, see, these are distractions. Are you gonna get into the word? See? And then look, and then get this. He was in the Kelly Rowland's relationship goal video. It was him. It was him. And then he was in there. He's talking about his new book. I was like, oh my, that was brilliant. It was like he was brilliant sales. So that's the one. This is a business, y'all.
Why do we idolize the pastors who are embodying the slave masters? Why do we do this, y'all? The spirit of they are possessed by the spirit of possession. They want to possess all the single black women in the church.
In the pockets.
Neglect any. You got a church full of consumers, not producers.
Right.
Neglect there. We have no formal institutions. Neglect. We don't have no banks. Neglect. We don't have no agricultural land. Neglect. We don't have no communication system. Neglect. We don't have any formal institutions to call our own, and to make an illusion of us flourishing.
Right.
You're possessing your congregation.
Right.
You're possessing the congregation, and you wonder why men are leaving the congregation by the thousands.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you want to talk about that?
There's nothing there for us. They're in full-blown relationships with white Jesus.
Yeah.
There's nothing there for us. They don't look at us as a leadership. We don't look like that. Then they say, oh, we don't believe that Jesus was white. The whole world was colonized by white Jesus.
Right. And Jesus.
So the subconscious concept of who you believe in is embedded inside your subconscious.
Yes.
And you got rebuttals for it, or you'll rebut. But if that is the case, then why don't you practice it the way that the Ethiopians practice it?
Right.
Or the Somalians practice it, or the East Africans practice it.
And we know why. Because even someone bringing up, that's why I say, even someone bringing up Christianity came from Africa. Is your lineage a part of that particular tribe in Africa? That's what I'm saying. You don't even know what you're saying. You're just trying to bring up any type of information that supports the beliefs you have. It doesn't matter if it's factual. It doesn't matter if it makes sense. It doesn't matter if it's common sense. It doesn't even matter, because it's just like, okay, you bring that point up. Have you traced your bloodline to see if you even connect with that in your ancestry? You may have practiced something else.
That's a great point.
You don't even know. You're just saying stuff.
That's a great point.
You're just saying stuff. Okay, and maybe, I hope you do. Maybe you might come across that you got some Ethiopian in your DNA, but you not that. What are you talking about? This does have nothing to do with the colonized Christianity that you practicing right now. That ain't got nothing to do with that. Nothing. That book.
So do black people believe that the only community that we can have has to come out of a Eurocentric doctrine of Christianity? Right. Do we really believe that? No, I'm asking.
Well,
do we believe the only way we can have a form of community is the trust that we have in the doctrine that was given to us by white people?
Well, baby, you have to remember, yes, if we're on a plantation in People have to make a choice. If we're on a plantation, the people that's out here like, hey, we about to go, we about to get free, and the other people over here like, I'm not, I can't do nothing without Massa. Massa lays out my wardrobe every day. Massa tell me what to eat. Massa lays out my schedule. I don't want to not have this. So what choice they chose? We gotta go. Yeah, see, brother, see, he talks. So, see, folks still caught in that hustle paradigm. You just gotta leave them behind. Tubman
Facts,
style.
all right, facts.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. We just gotta leave them behind Tubman style.
Yeah, get the strap too, like a run or die.
Yeah, so folks.
Facts.
Yeah, so they're.
Yeah, we gotta keep it pushing.
So suffering, smiling, possessed by the Jesus disease. So that's what we right. We're talking about the spirit of possession in here. Like I broke this story down to my husband. I was getting some accounting tutoring from this sister, and this when I was working as a consultant for this tutoring company, and so I was getting free tutoring. She did something with a profession in growing management and business skills, and so I was getting my tutoring for her. And in the middle of the session, I was just telling her about how I feel like what God has for my life. I'm kind of like planning my path out with entrepreneurship, and at this point I was already done with my initiations, right? But I'm not talking about that, right? It wasn't just space for me to bring that up. It didn't matter. I know what the Creator means to me and my system. And she literally full blown in the mid of that conversation was just like, she was like, well, you don't know, if that's God or what you're talking about. And then she just started praying. She got possessed. She was like, okay, let's pray. And I was like, what did she just do? I was like, what just happened? And that was the last time I met with her. I was like, I'm not. I was just irritated. I was like, I came here to learn about business and management. I don't know what the heck she talking about. Look, she just got possessed real. I just was like I didn't, mind you, I didn't mention anything about what my faith was. I didn't mention anything about my. I didn't. It doesn't matter because she's possessed by that spirit that just took over her. That obviously I can see it, and it knows I can see it. Just possessed right through her. Like, well, it knows that I'm not a part of that and I'm not worshiping it because you're not the creator of the universe. You're just a demigod.
Yeah, you disturb that entity wrongful. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
So I was like, I was just like, just flick my hair, roll my eyes. I'm like, can I just get some type of business mentoring shit? I was at this stage, I'm like, what? I'm like 27. I'm like, girl, or 20. No, I was 26. So I'm just irritated. I'm just like, because you're a black woman, like in your 40s. And then in the mid conversation, like, whoo, girls, yeah, because I was your age. I was just living it up. I was having so much fun, girl. Yes. And I was like, yeah, I didn't really live my 20s like that. I don't know why you're bringing this up. Because you married, y'all got your Christian family, you got a son. But she just kept going on and on about how much fun she had in her 20s as if she wanted to keep reliving that. Girl, I was just like, let me just. Girl, I had so much fun. Woo! Like, I was just like, all right, I don't know what she doing in life, but it ain't good. I know it ain't good. Not getting possessed by something.
How we out of how we out of slavery but yet still possessed by the spirit of our captors?
Right. Well, we're not. Are we out of slavery? That's a good question.
Okay, here's a good conversation. I had a conversation with somebody the other day, and they told me that we were flourishing.
Wow.
They said that black people were flourishing now.
Yeah.
I said, really? How so? Well, we're not out getting whipped in the street anymore. I said, you don't think that this form of slavery has evolved into something that is far more than whips and chains?
Right. Yeah.
I said, we don't even have a look around. Well, where's our grocery store?
Right.
We're right here in Black Wall Street.
Right.
She said we were flirt. That's the illusion that religion creates. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good things you can get out of religion. You can learn how to be a good wife. You can learn how to be a good husband.
Not out of religion, out of the text.
Out of the text. I'm sorry. Yeah, out of the text.
Because think about it too like that. Because you can follow biblical teachings without being a part of a congregation.
Right. Wow. Right. Exactly. God. Wow. Exactly. She had a rebuttal for Massa, for every thought provoking question I had, she had a rebuttal from Massa, bro.
Yeah. She had she had but think about it. But think about it when we talk about like I feel like the ancestors will speak to me about this with comfort. They'll be like, the fear is coming because they're just comfortable. Because think about it like this. Think about it like if we go back, if we in physical change like our ancestors went through, and you had the people, the house Negroes, and they get a little extra privileges from the mass, and they're a little bit more comfortable. They get to be the one that massa leave behind because they know they'll whip the slaves and act. You got those type too. What? They still exist. They comfortable working with massa. As long as they get their little, their little trinkets and stuff. Comfort. Yeah, okay. But see, now this is a different. We talking about something different now. We talk about something else because this type of enslavement is nothing to play with. Because now we talking about, you know, some deep spiritual repercussions and stuff. You know, they all around, fam. Yep. Program sh- program sleepers, bruh.
The marriage rates in America are at an all time record low. The revolution starts with the black family. That's not good. Nobody has an interest in connecting in marriage like they used to. The only way we're going to get back to being producers and empowering and having sovereignty is if we do that.
Mm-hmm.
The times are going to get so serious to where we're not going to know who to trust and who's really genuine about making that connection, because there's going to be a lot of women who's going to act like they were the whole time when they were anti men for decades.
Yep. Yeah.
That's not a good position to be in. And you're going to need certain spiritual gifts and discernment during those times to prepare you to make a good decision on who you let into your family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just recently had a family member come back into my life after I had accepted them, embraced them several different times
Mm-hmm.
into my life, like I knew them all my life. And they actually ended up betraying me each time I did it. And now this time I don't trust them at all. I'll never let them back into my life the way that I did in the past.
Yeah.
I just can't do it.
Yep.
Now, what do you think? And I honestly, talking to the creator and meditating about it,
Mm-hmm.
I believe that it's not gonna change under any circumstance, because everything that I did was be above and beyond and exceeded anything that I had to do. It was from the purest part of my heart.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So what more else could I do?
Right. Right. Yeah. And
You know?
yeah, because like you said, like when we talk about people's capacity for love, like you can't give some, you literally can't give something to someone they haven't attained in themselves. You know, and if that person haven't put in that level of inner work, they're actually going to harm someone who give them a certain amount of love and frequency that they're at. They have no choice but to harm that person because it's just where the frequency they on.
What's that? What was you just talking to them about?
Yeah, we're
I
just talking
wonder
to
what
myself.
point he was talking about. That's wild.
Yeah, we can bring you on. You want
Yeah,
to come
bring
on? You want to come
bring
on
him on.
alive?
Bring him
Yeah,
on.
I was like, yeah, we might as well just bring you on. Yeah, but look,
Invite him. Send an
yeah,
invite to him.
I'm already talking. Where we was already talking to you. Let me see. Um, go live.
Yeah, right there.
This one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, we might as well just put you on. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he said yeah. Oh, okay. Invite. Yeah, this is real. See, yeah, brother Iron on our wavelength, so you know, we be tapped in. Oh, okay. Okay. There we go. Yeah, brother Iron. Hey.
In the building. What was you just talking about? Mm.
Mm. Mm. Mm. Right.
Mm. Mm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right.
Mm.
Yeah. See, and brother Ian, do you feel like you have that type of discernment because you are a brother who has poured into like your spiritual cultivation over time rather than I guess chasing like an image or a title or things that are not long lasting like you said like generationally, you know, do you think that contributes to that or something else? Mm, mm, mhm, right.
Mm.
Absolutely. See that? No, but yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do.
but
Yeah.
see, we've been talking about that. Yeah.
Mm.
And I think that's a respect. Any woman who's with a man who operates like that, she has to respect. If she truly respect masculinity, she'll respect that about him because she know that's protection because that's borders. I was taught that in my initiation that men have borders. Strong men like, and so my father has always been like that too. It's like no, it's and I understand. Sometimes people can in this day and time if a person hasn't cultivate their spirituality that could turn into something that could be toxic for a family, but we're talking about people who have cultivated their spirituality, and you're saying for a spiritual defense of your family you have to stand on something. And it's like if it's any resistant, if you're not aligned with this, you gotta go. You can't because you're gonna be a danger to the safety of what we have because we're not operating on the same values and principles.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I can't imagine why a woman couldn't respect that. That's how you. Yeah, you got to respect that. You have to respect a man's ability to create borders.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm. I love that. That's a hell of a compliment. That's a yeah. That's to the God. That's a hell. I know that made you feel warm inside. Facts. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nah, the Jaguar, the Black Jaguar. Yeah. One of my favorites.
Mm. See you. Oh, okay. I was gonna say. I'm sorry. I was gonna. Was you done,
I
brother
put her
Iron?
onto that movie. I put her onto that movie.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, he did. That was a good movie. Well, I was gonna say you was gonna tell the brother about the conversation you was having with the woman that you was just talking about. What we was saying. Yeah, because those be real conversations that.
I asked her today, psychologically, how you feel about black people taking on the religion that and killed, and just sometimes exterminated
Yeah.
and colonized. What do you think about the psychologically about people taking on that the rape killed of our oppressors, that the religion of the people that rape killed our oppressors? What do you think about that? I asked the same sister that I was talking about earlier, and I asked her that today. You know, I focus on my own relationship that I have with God, and that's just kind of where it's a safe place for our people who don't really want to know who they
Yeah. Yeah, and also talk about
they
also
don't want to know.
look.
It's too much. Mm.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah, because yeah, yeah, right.
Oh, but you couldn't forgive your ex for cheating on you though.
Ooh, right.
But you can forgive everything they did to your ancestors.
Ooh. That is real. That's real. Dang.
Man, I swear.
But that's a big thing. It's like, so if a woman like that, it's like, well, so your love, or it could be phrased two different ways. Do your hatred or your dislike for your own men surpass that of what has been done to you by like your oppressor? Like, is that, do you dislike?
Absolutely.
So that, and then another way it flipped around, even yourself. So it's like, do you hate yourself or dislike yourself, like who you truly are, more than your dislike for your oppressor and someone who have imposed harm on you and your family? So it's like you could ask it, yeah. Yeah. Wow. Oh yeah. Mm. Right. 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 Yeah. That's righteous.
If now it's but it's something interesting you just said, because what the deep traumas passed down, and I see it in a lot of women, is like the distrust that they have in black men from what they seen done to us and what was allowed to be done to them, and we couldn't do anything about it. And it's like they looking at us like, hey, why you ain't do nothing when ass was over there raping me? You was just sitting there looking. You like, he had a gun on me, he had a gun on you. What you want me to do? But she's so emotionally distraught. She like, I don't care. We supposed to die, you supposed to die or whatever. And we like, no, we gotta live on. We gotta live through this. We gotta get through this, trying to be the best leaders that we could. But it was to no avail because there was nowhere to go. So like that deep embedded trauma psychologically, it was, I could see how it would be easy to infiltrate the psyche.
Well, look, okay, we're not about that. We're
I
not.
could I could
Look,
see how it could be,
well, let
it could be
me.
easy to infiltrate the psyche of a lot, because let's be honest, a lot of black women don't have the consciousness as Asher's segment. Let's just be
well,
real.
let's also.
They don't.
Well, let's bring
And there's a
something.
reason for that.
Let's bring something really important because we're talking about war.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that we are not in physical chains anymore, and these women can do what they do in these boardrooms and all that and be free, that started with 300,000 black men fighting for our freedom and winning the Civil War.
Oh yeah, they don't think about that.
But I'm saying that's what happened. That's what got us out of the chain.
Yeah, they don't think about that. Yeah, women, that ain't, that's totally.
What's that? What's that book? I Freed Myself.
Mm-hmm.
It goes over that. But I'm saying it, but that's the truth. We're talking about war.
Mm-hmm.
So you're talking about war.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of, right, we talk about the spirituality that had to get us there, but that book goes over that too.
Yeah.
I Freed Myself. So we're talking about, okay, the movement of the Haitian Revolution, the spirit that was cultivating Nat Turner, right? Okay, so the spirit of the rebelliousness of what was going on, it's like, this is not gonna last. So it's not like we're not about to play these games. And what was that spearheaded by our men? Like, come on, we're not about to play those games. And then we became free because they actually fought and died for our freedom. I'm just saying.
But the brother mentioned something earlier, really on point too, about the fear.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
And you mentioned something beautifully about war.
Right.
While we was fighting wars for freedom, they was fighting wars above our heads to control us forever. That's what they wanted to do.
Right.
We still suffer from the fear of, like, the delectable Negro. We know they used to eat us. Like, we know we're dealing with a treacherous being, and we're not even able to identify with that.
Yeah.
As melanin dominant beings, there's certain things that this perplexes us. Like, oh my God.
Right.
To know we're dealing with a creature like that, it's either like wipe them out, or how do I interface with them? That's talking about lowering your frequency.
Right.
You gotta lower our frequency to even interface with them.
Right. Yeah.
Sure, like, yo, when I stepped into a room with them, they are like,
yep,
like a cartoon.
Yep.
Not even speaking.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, okay, and that's out of choice. I'm not gonna lower my frequency. So and we look at that war, as the brother was saying about how the women, that thing happened with the women, the men saying how we step away from our family, how we willing to just walk around like the buck.
Right. Yeah.
Rather than saying I want to take care of multiple women and expand my family.
Right.
That's very different, because when they was being broken.
Right.
You know what the deal is like. I'm ashamed to be in front of you right now after what was happening to me.
Right.
Watching, and my baby in the belly had to watch, was feeling it and watching it too epigenetically.
Right.
And my baby you was holding the hand up, watched it too, and said, "Damn, daddy ain't got no power."
I had to watch my sister be gator bait.
Yeah.
I had to watch my sister get ate by a gator.
Yeah.
And we talking about. I agree with both of what y'all said. I totally agree with it.
Yeah.
Dessalines said something profound. He said you have to be just as brutal as your enemy to win the war.
Right.
Now,
Yeah.
but that's in war. But the war that y'all talking about, the spiritual war, the best weapon to defeat the enemy, because they're diabolical. They ice people. They come out the cave to killing. They want to kill something. The first thing they got to do is kill. We got yams, mangoes. It's a whole different. It's a different mentation, right? It's to love each other.
Right. Yeah. Love. Yeah. Love.
It's to love each other.
That's right.
It's black.
Yeah,
that's how we gonna weaponize the love and win the war.
That's right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about it. But I mean, at the same time, Say it again.
Reclaiming our legacy completely,
Yeah.
Yeah.
taking all the attention, which is power, all of our attention away from them. It's
Yeah.
a wrap. It's
Yeah.
a wrap. They can't survive without us. It's not even
Mm.
about them. That's why even my children can
Mm.
tell you when I raised them, I never used the words white supremacy. They never even heard that. They'd be
Mm.
like, "What?
Mm.
What? That doesn't make sense. What you talking about?" And I did that purposefully.
Mm.
I didn't want to use words for them like elite,
Mhm.
supremacy,
Mm.
any of those things. I took it out the vocabulary. Like they didn't have that when they was learning. They learned like you told. They learned about the ice cream. They learned about like, oh yeah,
Right.
they learned about you. They learned about your Google. Like you know the
Mm.
kind of person that you know what I mean?
Mhm.
The shining light, the shining heart that you have. This person does not care.
Mm.
They
Right.
cannot utilize it
Right.
for their aims and their goals and for them to win. Because even when you start going above them, oh, they're gonna show it. They're
Right.
gonna show
Mm.
what's going on. They're gonna show their things.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, and like you said, like y'all saying, we just gotta build it. We just gotta build it and grow and focus our energy there, man. Y'all doing
Yeah.
amazing work, though, and I love it. It's always what the Mahi community is doing is amazing. I love it.
Yeah, we
Just
appreciate that.
just the ground root work, the ground works right now. The brother with the Seymours and the teaching, the wellness. I'm like, yes, yes.
Yeah, man.
I just want to salute you and say, Ashe, many blessings to y'all. A lot of love to y'all because that's something which some folks will say, I'm not doing that no more. Some people are saying if they don't know already, I'm going, I'm leaving behind. I don't have the time no more to take the time to be sitting and teaching somebody. Some folks feel that way.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
no, this is somebody got to tell you you're doing wonderful work.
Yeah, we
Yeah, we
appreciate
appreciate it,
that.
brother. Yeah, nah. You too, man. Nah,
Yeah,
we appreciate all the
absolutely.
support for real, man. Yeah. It means a lot, man. Yeah, especially just now, man, with the lack of just connectivity with humans in general. It's just, and then with the path that, the deeper mysticism,
Mhm.
the more people disappear that you might have noticed. Not a lot of people. It's a certain select few of people that you attract and, come on. And something else I'm learning about manifestation and the law of attraction is like I'm noticing that the universe will bring you something of exactly the opposite what it is that you're attracting to show you what it is that you're not. Because you have to be sure. Like if everybody looked the same in a room,
Mhm.
right? It's just like,
Mhm.
but we all look different. Everybody looks different. So it's like in order to really know what it is that you want and that you truly desire, you first have to see and have forthcome that what is not that.
That's important.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where the lessons come in the discernment and the
Mhm.
initiations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like that's what I'm learning to accept. It's a process for a reason.
Oh, and it made me think about what you were saying earlier, like about like women wanting to take the lead. So
Mm,
something that I was taught by a master was know when to lead and when to follow. And
mm,
a lot of it's just especially with our people I notice like everybody wants to be the boss or and
mm-hmm.
it's like I know when I can take the back seat. Mm, Like I don't know why is that like a everybody bumping
If
heads
people
to
knew what it was to be a real strong leader and you've been a leader for years, you would want to take the back seat. Since I was a young boy, I was a leader of men. They don't want that. You
no.
don't want. That's why I just like to go places and be a fan. I just want to go be a fan and just watch.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for a long time, bro. I get around a brother. He big, tall. He big. Yeah, you the man, bro. I
Yeah.
let let's
Yeah,
see what
you
you can
know.
do. I got your back.
Let me give you some more. Let me give you some more.
Right. You need some water? Nah, for real. I've been doing this for a minute, bro. I do not mind. I could be a leader and a follower, bro. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? If it's whatever's best for us.
That's mastery. What you said. That's mastery. That's wisdom.
Mm.
That's wise dome right there. Because I was looking at that when I was talking to some youth the other day, my children, and they was like, I remember when you were taking care of 15 people in the house, Dad. I was like, oh, really? Like,
they remember
yeah,
that.
remember that.
They remember that.
We ain't see much of you though. I was like, yeah, I was getting it in to take care of those 15 people in the house. Can we used to all up in one room?
Yeah.
Like my big family, it was my mates, 7 of my children, then and then you had my brethren who came up from California with his. They have a polyandrous situation. So it was a brother. It was a brother who I knew for many years, and their wife and husband and then their children. They needed a place to stay. I was like, come on in.
Nice.
But that's what we do. It's all hard. And then it's like,
nice.
Because they thinking now, they thinking they processing.
Right.
Yeah.
Like financially, they're like, Dad, like how you do that? And I was like, yeah, you move from the heart. You're channeling correctly. Everything is going to line for you. You're never going to lack. And I feel it in my chest. But you say, brother, go ahead, take the lead because it's like.
If you ever been in them positions,
yeah,
there ain't no way in the world. You ain't never. I know. I can spot them out. I know, man. Like, all right, yeah, you want to be the.
That's a good point.
Like,
because you were referring this to like dynamics where, and I've had other brothers tell me too, where it's like they just feel like their woman is like in competition with them, and that's why they can't. And I'm not saying that this is like I get this all the time because I don't.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that if I've heard it before, like the type of dynamic that you're talking about, where a woman is having a hard time with letting the man lead. And it's what you're talking about because she's not really a leader.
Exactly.
That's why. That's why she's trying to be something that she's not.
Wow. That
makes sense. And it because it's like with us, it's like, it's like I can have times where I'm definitely sitting in the backseat, and I like it like that. I like when I can like just put things down and let my man just take the lead. Like just it ain't hard.
I'm gonna tell you that's a great feeling too, because I can tell that she could tell that I'm getting better.
Right. You're getting better with it.
I'm getting better with it.
Yeah.
So that makes me feel good. How relaxed she be. Sometimes I'll be doing stuff she don't even look up. I'll be like, damn. She really feel, I must be getting better. I'm proving stuff to myself. I didn't even know that I'm capable of with the trust that she has in me.
And I do,
you know what I'm saying? So,
and I don't know if it's generational or not. Sometimes I thought it was because it seemed like millennial women were taught that more. But I don't know. But sometimes it could show up in Gen Z women too, and like younger women. But maybe because they're just following after that. But I mean, I did grow up in a dynamic in which I seen, my father as a leader and my mother follows. So that did obviously help my subconscious. But I would say that, but my mother was not a passive woman. She's not like, she know how to speak her mind. Like she's not, but she doesn't do it in a way that's overbearing or disrespectful in a way to my father that in front of our eyes, it looks like, dang, our mama like toe and toe with him.
Yeah.
No, we never got that feeling. It was just like, if my mama said that she doesn't like something or she felt some type of way, my dad like, well, are you the father or me?
right.
And it just, and then you just have to be quiet. Just go in another room. Like, oh, I can't take this. It's just I can't watch you this. I can't watch this. I was like, but my daddy is very blunt like that.
Oh gosh.
He's like, well,
oh man.
He's like, my daddy's like, well, do you want me to be a docile man or a protector? Somebody came in this house and pushed down the house. What y'all want me to
go
do?
Look, see who that danger is, right? All right then. Yeah. Right.
That's how my daddy and my mom and daddy conversations always was.
Right.
My daddy ain't got no problem. And my mama just, but when a man is masculine though, a woman has no choice but to be feminine. Like I said, because even if my mama, if she working and she may be feeling like a little bit imbalanced with her femininity, having that strong masculine man gonna put you right in check. It's gonna be like, oh, yo, shoot. Let me get back in reality.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. That's true. Yeah.
Right. Everything's good. Oh man.
I remember you telling me one time, Daddy, we want to hear you talk. I said, what you mean? See, when you go silent, the whole house goes silent.
Mm.
Aw.
It's the thing, though.
Aw.
If somebody does this something, they think it's like, right, they'd rather me come be like, yo, why you do that? You know that wasn't cool. Blah, 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 blah. They say when you just go silent and like retreat to your office or something, but I'm going to talk to you in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Come out, the whole house is sparky. Everything's spick and span. Everything's organized, straight
Right.
now.
Little they know you was just meditate. You was doing walking meditation. You was sit. You were won't ain't nothing wrong with you. You just.
No laugh.
Something else I really feel we cannot be confused about, though. Y'all gotta see, it's not to just blow your head, blow smoke up your skirt, and all. This is not that. It's just speaking to where y'all are. The kind of work, Sister Ashley, you're not able to front on the kind of spiritual work you've done. You do deep genetic, material, cold work.
Mm-hmm.
You're scrubbing out old stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You realigning. Like, you really do the work. And sisters got to be called to do that because that stuff just doesn't go away. Like
Yeah.
the stuff we talk about that's passed down epigenetically.
Yeah.
We can look at it. I'm glad we can be light about it, but we have to be careful. I think my son used the word the other day and said, Dad, I got to learn how to be more adaptation, more adaptable. And I said, no, son, more resilient.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can find yourself adapting to things that does not serve you.
Mm.
Lower your frequency and lower your resonance, all of that. You do not want to. I got you. It's a word thing. I said, no, it's just words, but no resilient. Study more deep about what resilience is.
Mm-hmm.
Because us as leaders, you know how resilient we have to be in navigating all these waters.
Yeah.
Without being wet. Without getting wet.
Come out on the other side dry. Maladoma talks about that.
Maladoma talks about
Yeah.
So
Word.
we doing the real work right now.
Yeah, that's real work, man. Because what you're saying is, I've come to find that resilience, in order to attach that to me and attribute to myself, was only could come from spiritual growth because I had to learn how to trust my intuition, bro.
Right.
I had to trust myself. Like, and only way I could. That's the only way I could be resilient.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I got a question for you, girl. Do you have an inner circle outside of Sister Asha that you speak to when you ask questions or ask their opinions about?
I just recently, got a barber that I'm working with at the herbal shop. My OG. He's like a, but before that, no. And then I just recently got with Chief Asor from Sake. I've been going to the Friday prayers, and I'm not. I don't think that's your community, but you know who they are. They're in Georgia by Savannah. Some you know what I'm talking about.
You talk about
I thought that was actually your community. I sent them a picture of you.
No, I'm connected with them. Meaning I joined the Friday morning prayers with them and stuff like that.
Okay.
Me and the sisters walk. Their chiefess has walked many of the same paths I have. Like
That's what it was because I knew I seen you in association with them, but I didn't know if you were in their community or not. So I
actually visit them soon. I'm going to visit them soon.
okay, I thought so.
But the reason why I asked you is not like to really cite, do you have a Baba that you studying under something? It was more just like you talking about leadership. You said something really potent about your intuition. When we're placed on a certain level, and I learned this about myself. I learned this the hard way until I got it. When we're given certain messages, we're given certain coding, we're given certain things that we channeling that we cannot take to anyone else. Just like I learned that I couldn't ask this person. They're not going to see it. I got to manifest it in every way. They're just not going to see it. No matter how much I love them, I adore them, I respect them. What's being given to me, they may not get.
Right.
And I've held things back and didn't do it because I was looking for somebody else to co-sign. I was like, man, I wasn't honoring my intuition.
Wow.
The divine gave.
Well,
I'm sitting up here wanting to co-sign. Something that's beautiful that your mate. You got a great mate that she does. Let's do that shit, honey. Get on it. Let's go. That's where that works out. But that's why I asked that because I noticed I had to pull back. I didn't have the partner. I had people that adored me, that loved me, that was partners. I couldn't ask them, yo, what you think about this?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their heart, their heads, stuff like that.
We were having, but
Yeah,
you know,
we were just having that
we were just having
conversation.
a
Yeah.
conversation. Well, and I was telling, and he know, like you said, like, and I support my husband with. I mean, whatever you want to do. My thing is just, we always just have conversations, rather if it's serving you,
Mm-hmm.
especially because if you're talking about like relationships
Mm-hmm.
and stuff, and then I just trust him to guide him, guide himself through it. But when we will talk, and I'll say, well, I was like, do you feel like, about leading in something that you haven't seen done before?
Mm-hmm.
Because that I had to go through something like that. And I understand, like, we, even though we're a partnership, we still have our individual paths in that union. So we have our individual experiences that are lessons that are meant to help us to whatever capacity of leader that we are, because he's a man, I'm a
Mm-hmm.
woman, right? And I understand, just the polarity of that. Our leadership can look different, you know. So I say, well, because I just said, when walking this journey, I was saying the same thing when the spirits were trying to get me to do what I was doing, what I'm doing now. I was like telling them, like, I was like, oh, I'm not ready for all that. I can do it when I'm 40 years old. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you got sisters out here, got kids, they doing poly, let them do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was just like, why can't I have a family? Like, it's just like, just fighting with it so much. And then you just let go, you just surrender. And now it's like, it's just like I'm doing the thing. It wasn't like I had not had poly experience or nothing. It was just like a why me? Like, why do
Yeah.
I have to do this? But when you get callings in your life like that, I saw this woman who, she was an indigenous woman, talking about the life path of a shaman. And she's like, shamans get chosen for different reasons, where a lot of times they don't want to do it,
Yeah.
but they get called to do it, and it's like a greater sight than what we can see, right? It's like, okay, you don't see how special you truly are, but this calling that the ancestors and the spirits is putting on you is because they're seeing the field, and they like, you have to be the one to do it, right? And it's like, it was resistant for me, and I'm not even saying that that's what you're going through. I don't. You always been
Nah,
special.
I'm gonna tell you, like, what
Right.
you said and what you saying about honoring your intuition. I was just sitting here thinking, and
Mm-hmm.
because to be honest with you, I think that's one of our spiritual lessons within our relationship. Because a lot of the times, I be thinking that my wife feels like I'm secretive because that's what I do a lot, and I think that's what it's teaching us. Because right now, we might not need much of an outer circle to speak to, because a lot of things that we do, we
Mm-hmm.
just trust it and do it. We don't speak to each other about it,
Right. Yeah.
like especially like within our working in our craft. We just trust. So like she'll pop up, like when I popped up with the wellness technology with the bioscan. My wife, I didn't tell her anything about that. I just was following what the creator was telling me to do, and then when I did it, she was like, "Oh, this is great, this is," and then she'll do the same thing. She have a DDP and a ebook, and then I'm like, "Oh wow," this is like, yeah, or she have some type of something going on with her, with the Mahi sister I tried, like I'm trying to do, and she won't say nothing to me about it, and it'll just, because like you said, only it's between, she can only see that to for it to manifest and crystallize. I I sometimes you don't have time to talk about it. You
Mm-hmm.
gotta just gotta say action. And she is an executor like that, and I'm an executor like that, and having a strong. But there's gonna come a time when we're gonna have the privilege of uh, a more extended family.
Oh yeah, that comes organically. You can't even
Right.
rush that. You can't put out WhatsApp ads or
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying. You can't
Exactly.
marketplace ads for that. The
Mm-hmm.
way y'all do it is beautiful because that's just organic.
Yeah.
And I love that. But I was interested in that question that you asked me. You said you would ask him sometimes, like, do you want to do this? Does this work for you? Because I notice with us leaders, with normally a real leaders who thinking about everybody, it's like,
Yeah.
is it going to enhance everybody? I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not
Mm.
even about a lot of times, and I'm not saying I want to speak to the brother, but I don't know how he answers you, but I know for myself, a lot of times it'll be when I pose that question, it's like it don't matter. Is
Right.
it gonna be? Is it for the benefit of us all?
Right.
Is it for the
Mm.
benefit of us all? You know, so
Yeah.
that's another thing, that other place we need the body. Sometimes we be out of body and making sure that we on mission and watching things flow.
Mm.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, I do. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I feel like you may be a little bit more secretive than me, because which is fine.
Yeah.
But I usually do run. I would say 90% of the stuff I use.
Yeah, you do. But there has been some stuff you felt very strongly about. Yeah. But she is too. She'll come out with some stuff that she won't say nothing to me about, and it's totally fine. But that's how I know that was something that was channeled straight through her. That was something that she was told. She ain't got time to ask nobody about this. It's like you're into it.
Oh, you just be honest.
Regardless of how upset somebody gonna be or whatever. No, nope. I know I'm supposed to be doing. This is emotions aside. Whatever. This is it. And that's how that it goes. I just made me think about that when you said it. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, she know Joe. When I first seen Sister Empress, I was like, oh, she alien genetic.
Seriously, extraterrestrial.
Yeah, straight up. I was like, yeah, my people.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We come in peace. Got the sign.
I get it. A lot of folks, that's the whole thing. We have to be built a certain way.
Yeah.
Teflon. We have to be built a certain way because a lot of folks don't get it. And we got to be sure about ourselves, sure about our walk, meaning sure about our footing.
Yeah.
Where we move.
Yeah.
We say things, we put something out. But one thing y'all do that inspires me is y'all get active. Like all the things that I have, I'm like, I wish maybe I'll ask them one day, will y'all help me set this kind of stuff? Because I got droves, books. If I showed y'all stacks, papers, like I showed my, the brothers and my brothers, they was like, yo, was that all your writings? I'm like, yeah. Like I haven't taken that yet and put it on like a school or
Yeah.
What?
And I'm just like,
with your experience?
And see, but you know, we were talking about Brother Iron. I was saying that, like, if you want to put a course up there, we can do that. Like, and then I know it may develop until you get, you develop it yourself, like in terms of you having your own school community. But however you want me to support.
Absolutely.
You said something about when I'm visiting. I'll be coming up there soon.
The North Carolina?
Yes. I'm actually looking for land in North Carolina. I got places to look in North Carolina.
Yay.
Yeah.
And Colorado, so we're going to Colorado Springs. Colorado's too cold.
Yeah, it can't be those mountains. Yeah.
It's cold.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to do that.
Yeah.
So it's probably going to be north. I don't want to be in Georgia, North or South Carolina area. So I have to find a Virginia that gives me all the prospects.
What's making you get away from Georgia? Just because you've been there for so long?
Personal thing in terms of my astrocartographic information.
Yeah.
Like I got Saturn line that runs right through here.
Yeah.
Like things are held back. Like I can go to other places and listen fall out the sky. But astrocartographically, Saturn runs right through Georgia. So I'm like, yeah, you get it,
I do.
where I got a Jupiter line running through North Carolina, South Carolina.
I can see that for you.
Venus line.
I can see that for you. I can feel that. North Carolina is a special place. It's a midway point on the East Coast. And of course, Georgia is too, and South Carolina all up the Gullah Coast down Florida. But there is some special land here in North Carolina that's actually aligned with constellation Orion. It's called the Land of Abundance. It's going towards Western Carolina, whatever. Where it's a black man owns a live water mineral spring. It's called Live Water, Yacktonville, North Carolina. You should look it up. But he sells it worldwide now. But that's where it's like 1,000 acres of land, and that's where the spring is at. Freshwater mineral springs. Yeah, I just say that to say that Yacktonville. Yep, and live. It's called Live Alkaline Water. Yeah, yeah. It's owned by a black man chief. But I just say that to say, yeah, I can feel that if you're feeling that pull, yeah, come on up, man. It's North Carolina is an influx of people moving here because they're trying to get here because there's a lot of. This is probably the number one state to move to right now. One out of top 5 because Apple, people for jobs, whatever. But also the land here, you can find pockets that is really good land for good amounts of money where you can build on. Kind of like Georgia too, but you can find them here in North Carolina. You can find them here too, because Georgia has a lot of that too. Yeah.
Just because of what I told you about the satellite.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
I love that I can't. When I look at the trajectory of my life and how my life has been, some people will be like, "Oh my God, how you survive that?" We like, come on now, live for it tough. Like, come on now.
Right.
So, but a lot of those times is me also choosing the best places to be that support me energetically.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Astrocartographical level, I lived in a lot of Venus places, a lot of Jupiter places, like a lot of things that brought abundance, love. I was like, man, why the things was coming effortlessly when I was
Right.
Yeah.
so I know that this was just a place to strengthen me, get me back together. You use certain muscles that I haven't been using, spiritually
Yeah.
and physically. It was like that's what this was a preparation before me moving forward.
Yeah.
But North Carolina did call me, both North Carolina and South Carolina.
Okay.
My granddaddy built most of Florence, South Carolina.
Let's
My
go.
great granddaddy. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, we've been having
Florence.
some of the people that we've been just connected with that's coming here visiting and trying to see how. Look, these we having these conversations right now with people in the Miami community and a lot with brothers who are looking to invest. So look,
Mm-hmm.
if
Mm-hmm.
we can make all the, we can let spirit work. Let's let spirit work.
Certain things I'm not saying on here, but when I get with y'all,
Okay.
I'm roll up the scroll and be like, yeah, we can't say this over here.
Right. Facts. Yeah. Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely, brother. Yeah. Nah,
Okay.
peace to the Lord, man. Yeah, I can't wait. Uh, Let us know. Keep us posted when you coming, man. You know you always welcome. It's all good, man.
I know if I seem, I'm never distant. I just be active.
Right.
So I see y'all have a lot of stuff going. Like I wanted to join what y'all got going on the 18th, but I'm actually doing a session on
Yeah.
the 18th myself. But otherwise, I would have been there.
Mm.
And I know I'm just active. Y'all see some of the groups that I have.
Yeah.
A lot of clients.
Yeah.
I'm about to start turning that stuff into more team building and doing some other things.
Yeah.
But I'm with y'all, man. Always feel the vibration.
Yeah, man.
Feel the love. And that's
It's
what
time to work. We got to get them pages on digital. We got to get them. We got to get them IPOs from you, man. You got. Nah, it's too much value, man. We got to talk. We gonna talk, yo.
And we have some of the sisters watching. That sister Jakia. Yeah, we have look, Polly Men here.
Right. Ladies, listen. It's still it's still some. It's the guys are around. Y'all just gotta be open. We out here, man. We all gotta be open. I just gotta be open, man. You know, we still around doing the work, the real work, and it shows. It shows.
Millennium Falcons just be apart from each other
Mm.
in different parts of the world. But we starting to come together now.
Right, we are. We are.
What you think? What you think, Jakia? You think Brother Iron look good?
Here she go. Here she go. Let's go. Get active in the group. She in the group. She in the group, right?
No. So Sister Jakia, we met her at one of Karen's event. She
won't be in the group. You know
no. Well, we
But,
look. She saw some. Ah, no,
yeah,
look.
yeah. Come on, yeah, yeah.
She's beautiful. Good with kids.
Yo, the Polly Poppers.
Y'all silly.
Oh man.
No, she looks great. She looks really good. Okay, yeah. So yeah, we gotta tap in. That's what I said. See, North Carolina calling you. See, look.
Yep. Yep.
Look.
Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, okay. Love y'all.
Yeah,
She's funny.
keep us posted on when you coming. I think that the phone about to die. We'd have been on here about 3 hours. So
okay, talk to you soon, sis.
oh man, always God. Hey, look, we gonna talk soon, man. Let's build soon and keep me posted on when you coming, man. Let's make it an extravaganza. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely got to get in the studio. You come to North Carolina, you definitely get that pen. We unlocking that pen. authorship, bars, songs, scribes, mystic, personal revelation, channeling straight from the ancestral veneration, everything.
Oh, y'all gotta. Oh, and
Everything.
y'all also have to hit up the studio.
That's what we talk about.
Oh.
We just kind of talking encrypted. We talking too encrypted. And we're overheads. See, that's what we do. It's just overheads. It's overheads.
Yeah, I missed that.
But I'm gonna let y'all know way ahead of time before I make a switch. We can take the space.
Okay.
Coming up in
All right.
Too Strong. I'll be up here in Too Strong. I'll be strong. I'll let y'all know.
Nice.
Well, look, this is what I've been doing in real time. We're having brothers that that be on the on our Instagrams. Just real quick before you go, I tell this, look, this is a brother right here. I know that you're righteous. You've been walking this walk, a leader, right? And
spiritual leader.
Yeah, and this is the time in which this is what we do. We're about partnership, and we really mean that. So I like showing sisters be like, oh, it's rare. These men are rare. Well, this is a space in which we're always displaying, those strong, masculine, that original man. So we kudos to you, brother. I know that you're solid. Now let the sisters know that you're solid.
The presence will speak for itself.
Absolutely.
Show up. When we get in the room and it's like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. I feel that energy.
Yeah, man. I think like attracts like. That's why I see how we definitely show up.
That's true.
We going from there. Because like you were saying earlier, and I'm let you go. I know you said the phone is dying. We staying with the work. I stay with the work. It's all gonna come.
Yeah.
All resonates to you. All aligns to you perfectly.
I remember what you said. I kept that in my heart and my mind too. Is as long as your heart is aligned and your energy, everything is gonna be okay. As long as your heart is in the right place. And I forget the other part that you said, but you won't go without. As long as your heart is right and your pure intentions, you won't go without. You're channeling from that. That's what you said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember that.
Yep.
There's no fear.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have you on again. There was some other stuff I wanted to ask you, but we'll have you on again.
I'm here. Y'all catch me like this. And actually, this was the men's meeting night. So it was like I was able to segue off of there. This is like perfect. Like, oh, let me speak to my people.
Nice.
That's why I got the red light special on.
Nice.
Just blow out all the candles.
Nice. Fire.
I was like, oh, this is perfect to see y'all going. Like, let me go.
You already had a good flow going.
Oh yeah, anytime. But this is my natural flow too. For those that know, that's cool. For some, it may be boring.
Right.
What you mean meditation, prayer, candlelight, and plants, and hiking, and going camping?
What you mean? Oh, you not a clown? Oh, you don't eat fast food? We ain't getting no wings? Hold on. You don't joke. Why you so serious? Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. Peace to the God, man. Yeah, man. Always, right, brother. Always.
Same to you, brother. Okay, brother Ian. We'll talk soon.